What's up, traders? This is your midnight charting session with the professor, and I'm going to give you guys a breakdown of all our key charts as well as what's to come in the near future. Okay, so you really want to pay attention to these sessions because it allows you to figure out the best setups and what key plays that we're going to be looking at and go over potential news sources that are going to be coming out this week. So we break down in this in great detail so that you guys get a chance to see what's up and explore our community. So today we had an awesome, successful day once again. We've been crushing it with a lot of consistent plays lately, and it's all thanks to the trading model and the preparation that we do every day. So in our analysis here, this is our spreadsheet that we use to pretty much go over all our trades that we have taken, right? So for this week here, we use a spreadsheet to also help us for account management purposes, right? Because, I do rely on my broker to understand what my P&L is, but the problem is when you do take swings, your P&L also adjusts as you hold a position. So if it goes up 20%, that unrealized gain is going to be reflected on your P&L. And I like indicating it and writing it down so it's easier to see what my rationale for every trade is. And I consider all these trades a loss until it's sold. So at the end of the week, if I decide to, or if all these positions, worst case scenario, go to zero, then I know what I'm going to be left with at the end of the month here, okay? So, I could have been up 12, but I took multiple swings overnight here. And, today we had a nice trade at the open on ARM that we called right off the gate here. This was something that was discussed in the morning call, right? So if you check our morning call summary here, where you get we provided, we said we wanted ARM puts and we wanted to buy PLTR puts as well. Okay, so we did both of that. We bought ARM and PLTR puts right off the gate. We managed to bank around 51%. The PLTR puts actually went to a high of 100%, but we wanted to get out because we were holding these SPXs. Now, these SPXs was an amazing entry. The first time we initially got it was an instant double. I didn't sell it, and then the S&P 500 popped, and I waited for another entry. I got in and doubled my size and ended up selling for around 120%. This NBIS play also was a winner, managed to get over 60%. I didn't sell that because I wanted to swing it. And we're holding MU calls along with this SPX play. Unfortunately, didn't work out because the market started to move, but we're also holding these PLTR puts. So we called out SPY instead of SPX. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, because SPX we called out 2 times, NBIS and MU as well. So nice solid plays right there. Okay, now based off that here, let's go over our semiconductor analysis here today. Okay, so NVIDIA here, right? Very strong open yesterday. Okay, so it was starting to really move, and it was in the bullish breakout zone. So this stock here was headed towards level 2 bullish, but had bad news. Once that news broke out that SoftBank sold their stake, we start to see weakness in NVIDIA here overall. Now, going to NVIDIA's predecessor over here, AMD, AMD looked very different today, right? So that pretty much had to do with Lisa Su guiding on the overall data revenue, right? So starting from the beginning of the week here, you can see that our level 1 bullish inflection point was the area where AMD kind of retracted from. So now it's going to be retesting that. Okay, AMD has the potential to really move tomorrow because sitting at this inflection point, whenever you pretty much head towards the inflection point, it's going to be a breakout zone. Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to be eyeing AMD for a potential move here, and we're going to be looking at the 260 calls, okay, because it could rip 10 points above this number. It's worth a shot at this point here. Okay, in our analysis, which we pretty much dropped beginning of the week here, you can see all our numbers are given in advance. We even mentioned that there was a analyst day on Tuesday. So when you're in the room, we give you the analysis on key catalysts to watch and things to go over. So we're also wanting to see if there's any clarity on the $100 billion OpenAI stuff. So we're looking into that as well. Broadcom here, pretty much very interesting here that it did not get through 360. But if semis do get strong above 360, it gets in the bullish breakout zone, and it may start to really move here. Okay, so kind of a struggle to stay above this level 1 here, but it could get to 366. So keep an eye on that. And another thing here, there is no real events, no primary catalyst there, but it may move as a sympathy off of the AMD news. Now, ASML here has some news and potential events, okay? So you really want to pay attention to ASML this week, because based on what we have here, the catalyst that it has is that, so right over here, they're going to be headlining in two key conferences this week: the HK conference from November 12th, 11 to 12, and the Morgan Stanley from 12th to 13th. So ASML may get some news this week. Just be ready that if it gets through 1063, can really run, or under 990 bearish. But in between 1010 and 1040, it looks like it's going to be very choppy. So going into our next stock here, LRCX, that we have here, so LRCX pretty much is, we don't have any direct catalyst from my understanding, but it did manage to touch our first inflection point. If it gets through that 164 again, it's going to fly, okay? So a lot of the semiconductors, they tend to move in tandem here. We see that, there's no scheduled events for LRCX at this time. MU, so we're looking at this MU very carefully, and we got calls. So pretty much the thing about MU here is that on a Monday, it hit my level 3 bullish here, and pretty much it stopped at that point here, okay? What we're trying to see here is if it can get back to 247, it can really start to pop to 252, and eventually 270 is not out of the woods here, okay? So that's a massive move that MU can happen. So especially if it gets through 256, you see that it stopped exactly there. My level 3 usually is a reversal zone, but it does have an opportunity to get to 270 this week. So definitely keep an eye on that, okay? Other than that, going into our next detail here, SMCI, not really much going on with this, right? It's been pretty much stuck in our chop range. So I don't like SMCI simply because the earnings were garbage and it may just close here, okay? So we'll see if that hits any inflection points. Now ARM, okay, this is going to be a very important play here. So ARM did not, in fact, even with bad news with SoftBank selling, did not hit any inflection point here, okay? So this is a very tough situation because it looks like it only stopped right at 146 here. We made 100% on ARM. I was initially trying to target this level 1 bearish here, but then I realized that the premiums weren't moving so well, so we decided to get out. Now, ARM is stuck in a choppy range between 150 and 160. Now, stay tuned till the end. I'm going to give you guys my summary of the overall market shortly, okay? And Apple, this was on the wrong. This is supposed to be on the tech side, but we'll share this anyways. So Apple is very strong today. It managed to stop right at my level 2 bullish here, which confirms the trend. Okay, so you see here that it got through the zone and stopped and closed right at our level 2. Now, what I would like to do, level 2 pretty much confirms the trend. So I pretty much wait for this 273, and there's an opportunity where it can hit 280. So if that really starts to go, looks like an interesting setup this week here. I have more charts, especially in the techs and healthcare, right? I'll share my healthcare stock, which is Eli Lilly, but also stopped around at my level 3 here. So this could probably potentially top here, but we'll keep an eye on that. So we have more charts in the techs and the healthcare, but I've only pretty much shown the semiconductor stuff. The last thing I want to go over is my SPX analysis here. Okay, so this is what my overall sentiment is. So this week, the overall sentiment is it's bullish here simply because we got through my level 2, which pretty much is initial hard point. It retracted at one point, now it got through. Okay, so SPX has a little bit of room to the upside here. 68.70 and 68.80 is going to be the tough levels for the market to break through here. Okay, at 68.80, it's very possible we could see a immense pullback. Now, the main catalyst you want to be aware of is that the government may likely reopen, and that can definitely cause a move to the upside. But if we are not able to get through 880, be ready to see a potential sell-off that could take us to 67.62 here, okay? This is going to be a very hard number between these two levels here as well. So that's why I decided to swing some puts. We only have calls on MU to the upside, but it's very possible that the market can pretty much hit these inflection points and stop. Okay, so we're going to be looking at that. I forgot to share my PLTR chart, but we called the top on this as well. It stopped right at my 195. So I hope you guys enjoyed this midnight charting session here. I just want to guys give you an update that all of our charts are given before in advance. They're the key to our success, and a lot of members rely on that in order to be well off. So if you guys want access to this information, find out where the breakout zones are, where the chop ranges are, and the breakdown zones, then you definitely need to join a channel to do well moving forward. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next one. And like always, let's get that money.